Okay. All right. Well, here we go. And hello.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here with you guys today.
I know. We've got Fiona back. Fiona's like our guest, like host now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we're basically on the level of like the Ellen show at this point, you know?
Correct.
She's our guest host when the other one can't be here. But we've got Ryan.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Ryan, how do you pronounce your last name?
Anderson.
Why the heck did I think it was something else?
I was wondering the same thing.
Okay, I think this is great. By the way, that is hilarious. You think about how funny that just was.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be something crazy, and then when he said it, I was like, wait.
Ryan, how do you pronounce your last name? Anderson.
I know, I thought it was going to be some like
That is
crazy, like
amazing.
long, like some,
That is fantastic.
letters that you don't pronounce.
And I thought that too, but then why did I see in the invite that we have for you a different last name?
I thought maybe you had another Ryan that was going to compete with the Ryan.
Where?
Real Ryan.
This is great.
Didn't
We're
know.
going to keep that because that's funny. Ryan, how do you pronounce your last name? Anderson. You might as well have said Smith.
No,
Seriously.
literally, I was expecting something crazy where he's like, oh, you don't pronounce the first couple letters. And
Right.
I'm like, oh, wait.
Wow. This is going to be fun.
I saw that too, but I saw that you had the other name on there as well, so I
Yeah.
didn't know. I thought there was two people coming
That's
today.
why I was like, and you know what, usually before we start, I'm like, I go through all that, but you know what? I just figured we'd wing it today, and it actually turned out pretty funny. So, all right, here we go. Let's hear from Miss Tori.
In the know in the 920.
All right. Do you know what? We are here with Ryan Anderson
Thanks for having me.
from A Smooth Move.
Yes.
It's technically a Smooth Move LLC, right?
Well,
I mean,
yeah, I mean,
if we really want to get,
if
you know.
want to get down, yeah.
Ryan, I have a feeling your business has something to do with moving, right?
Just a little bit, yeah. So,
Tell us all about it.
we are a one-stop shop for moving. We can pack your items, we can move your items, we can store your items, we can do this in-state, we can go out-of-state. We're everything you need in a moving company. With that smaller, crew, smaller, personalized
family,
kind of
right.
service.
Right.
That's what we pride ourselves on.
Sure.
Quality, customer service, every time.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys are
that's
great.
wonderful.
No, you are fantastic. Okay, well, so far you're doing great, Ryan. He was very concise there.
Yeah, that was good.
wonderful. That was wonderful.
Short and sweet
Yep.
today.
I love it. Okay, so how did you get started?
So, back in high school,
Okay.
I'm going to be turning 39 next month.
Don't worry. I'm in my 40s, so you're fine.
So I would say I started this around the 17-year-old range, right out of
Wow.
Yeah, right out of like senior year of high school.
Okay.
So maybe dabbled a few jobs prior to that.
Sure.
Got in with a big corporate, large, big brand moving company.
Yeah.
Started out on the bottom and just slowly worked my way up.
Yep. So you were huffing it. You were moving stuff.
Oh yeah. I was the lowest guy on the totem pole.
Sure.
Happy to be there. Glad that's where I started.
Okay.
I think that's why we are where we're at today as well, because our guys can respect that.
Sure.
I'm still every day will go out there and I'll get down and
Yeah.
grab what I need to grab and
Right.
make sure it gets done with a smile.
For sure. Yeah, you're great. I mean, when we moved recently to the new office, which we were talking about on our podcast last week, we're in this weird temporary space right now, but it's fine. Our new office is going to be fantastic when it's all done. But when we moved in here, you were right there,
Yeah, absolutely.
front lines.
Yep, like I was telling my wife on the way here, I was like, at least they can see what we do on a
Yes.
day-to-day basis now.
Yep.
Again, real-time stuff with us is where you're going to see that expertise, the quality, and it starts with me, and then that's where it trickles down from there for
Sure.
our guys. So high standards.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
High standards are a
that
good
is really
thing,
awesome.
right? Set high standards. I always say, set high standards for yourself. And then, everybody else too I always say like, hey guys, I have high standards, but I also have high standards for me, right? It's not like I'm like, oh, I'm just going to sit back and do nothing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, you seem very involved, which is great.
Well, it's also important that you started at the bottom because I think it's like hard to maybe not, I don't want to say respect, but follow a leader that never actually did the actual work that they're delegating out to people. Because it's like,
Yes.
you know, if you just start off the top and you never actually did the physical moving, it's like, well, how do you know what we're actually doing?
Right.
But I think when they know, like, yeah, you did these exact steps, you know how to make it more efficient. You've had those hours and hours long days. Like, it just makes the people who are underneath you respect you more and know that, like, you've gone through all that as well to get where you are. So I think that's super important as well too.
Absolutely. She nailed it. I mean, I couldn't have said any better. You know, I don't expect my guys to do anything I wouldn't do. So that, I think, is a huge, huge key in keeping
I love that.
quality, people, morale, whatever you want
Sure.
at its highest.
Yeah. Okay, so you started off, you're moving the furniture, 17 years old,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So then what happened next?
So it was a great job for a guy that was, single guy, getting to know, like, what do you want to do with his life. I had a lot of flexibility on where I would go. My uncles were the drivers. So at these places, the driver hires the helpers, right? So he was my boss.
Okay.
So I learned from an uncle
Sure.
from our family, and
Yep.
he just took me through every single scenario. Went all around the United States.
Wow.
We would go coast to coast with a semi truck.
Holy cow.
Doing corporate relocations, and I got a really great, a way to see every single part of the jobs, right?
Sure.
From the stuff that I could change,
Yep.
to the things that, like they had locked in perfect. So then I would take those.
Sure.
And then, like I said, over the years, I worked there for a long time. 10, 15 years, I think I worked there.
So did you meet your lovely wife while you were working there still?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I lucked out and married Angela throughout this process, right? And, yeah, she was a nurse. And I was,
Ooh.
a mover, wasn't really kind of
Yeah.
a little different kind of, I would say social status.
You're saying maybe like a blue collar versus, right, I get it.
Absolutely.
I get it.
So
Yep.
I knew at some point that I needed to take it to the next level
Sure.
to support a family.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I saw a need for maybe others out there, teammates of mine. Hey guys, what can we do here? And we grinded out with them for a while, our old place, to get some more learning experiences. And then finally, 7 years ago, I was thankful enough that everybody got behind me, my wife, my family, and we started Smooth Move. And
That's
ever
awesome.
since then,
So,
Awesome.
I mean, I feel like you guys have skyrocketed.
absolutely.
But did it take a little bit?
Yeah,
Or was
I
it
mean,
pretty immediate?
hard work, is the main key. I tell everybody. Everybody sees, how well everything's going now. I want to do this. I
Yeah.
want to do that. They got to realize that you're gonna have a couple years of uncertainty, and that's usually when people call it quits, right? So we didn't.
Yeah.
Thank goodness we didn't. And I would say after a year, 2 or 3, we were pretty much locked in.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I feel like that's like super with us too in real estate. Like I think like 80% of realtors quit after 2 years.
Yep.
So you have to grind and grind and like now I'm at 5 years, you're at 100 years. You're like have the knowledge of 100 years of real
Ellie
estate.
Davies has been doing this for 100 years
Started
now.
the day of birth.
Exactly. I feel that way
Yeah,
sometimes.
but like
Yeah.
I mean, you see people drop off because they think it's
For
just
sure.
like okay, there's success. This person has success. I'm gonna have success right off the bat, and it's like no, you got to put in
A lot.
of work
A
for then
lot.
it to start organically coming to you for
Correct.
sure.
And you all were number one. When I got into it, I went to the realtors. I
Yeah.
knew that you all were going to be my main players in the game, whether you guys know this or not.
It's smart.
Yeah,
oh,
that's
yeah.
smart. Yeah.
And
Sure.
I grinded with you guys from the get-go, and it
Yeah.
paid off. So, like, we're so appreciative of what y'all do for us. I mean,
Yeah.
it's basically we have employees without having to
Yeah.
pay them.
Right, right.
So,
Yeah.
it's
That's
a
awesome.
win-win for me.
For sure.
And like I said, it's just seeing that hard work pay off, going
Yep.
to your places and saying my name and, we haven't heard of you. We haven't heard of you. That got me motivated.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And then finally at that summit last weekend, it really hit us full circle when everybody came up and goes, we know you.
That's cool.
We know you.
that is
That's
very
cool.
You're the best.
That's when you
moved us
know it's like,
there,
okay.
there."
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Made it.
Yeah. So,
I love that.
Anyway, yeah.
No, I love that.
Yeah, it's been a good journey.
That's really cool. What was the summit?
Well, it was just like a realtor thing, I think, put on by a
okay.
so up in Lambeau.
Sure.
So it was,
Yes.
it was out of our kind of
Yes, you were telling me about that.
area for Green Bay. Or
Yep.
yeah, so and for-
Realtors, they had a big panel, and yep, that's awesome.
And we had hundreds of them come up to us.
Sure.
We know you. We
know you,
And
yeah.
We're not even. We're trying to get up in the whole, up there
Right.
too as well.
Yep.
We might be already there.
I
Yeah,
love
no
that.
kidding. Right.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, you guys were the first person I thought of when Jenny Landro came in and said, Kelly, we're moving in 2 weeks. And I was like, okay. And then it was funny because when I called you, you were like, oh yeah, I just spoke to the Landros. We're moving them too. And I was like, this is perfect.
Oh yeah, just the whole office, the whole thing.
Everybody's moving with a smooth move. I love it.
Totally made my day, week, month, year. You know what I mean? So
It was
like
it
I
was
said,
it was great, and I don't know if this posted yet because I know Google sometimes takes a little bit, but I gave you guys a shining, glowing review last night.
trust me, I read those every night.
Okay,
before
good,
I
good. I mean, truly, what I said. I mean, you were so communicative, which is huge for me. Responsiveness. One thing that drives me nuts is when you contact any kind of a business, and it's like you don't hear anything back for like a day or more. That's just, to me, it's like, how do you do business like that, right?
I've already moved on.
Yeah.
Like, truly. Like, I've already moved on.
Exactly.
Like, if I don't, or like, if you're trying to find a new doctor in a new place or
Right.
whatever, it's like, if I don't hear a call by a couple hours, like, all right, I've already Googled 5 more people at that point. Like,
Exactly.
you need to be quick.
And that's what I tell
Exactly.
everybody, even on our, like anybody that's looking to get into sales with us, it's like, hey, you got to follow up. If you don't follow up, they're going to somebody else.
Sure.
At least follow up and tell them that we can't. But thanks for thinking of
Exactly.
us.
Something.
Yeah, here's
But thanks for
something.
thinking of us,
Something.
You know that you
Exactly.
even got my message, 100%.
Right, I agree.
100%. That's huge.
I
I'll do that.
totally agree.
I'll reach out and I'll say, I'm
Yep.
sorry, we don't have the dates available, but please, if something happens the day of,
Sure. Yeah.
wink, wink.
Right.
Give us a shout.
Yep.
Our guys will come to the rescue.
Sure.
Superheroes.
That's
get it done,
awesome.
but we can't cover everything.
Right.
Correct. You can't be everywhere at once. Can't do everything. I get it. But you were super communicative, super responsive, and I just felt like the day of it just went very smooth.
Very
Weird.
smooth.
Who would have thought?
Weird.
So
Smooth
you just kind of
move.
opened up a question for me, and I don't know
Yeah.
if this is on our list
No,
or
that's
not.
okay.
But you said that you guys have like a smaller crew. So how many jobs can you do in one day or one at one time?
So we've tested the waters just to see what we can all do. Our guys are really like
Yeah.
ready to go. We can do 4 to 5 jobs a day depending
Wow.
on the
Okay.
size. When it comes to the commercial ones,
Yeah.
we'll obviously
Takes a little more time.
yeah, we're
Sure,
not
you're
gonna.
so much stuff.
We might spread them over a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
But we can get any move done in a day.
So you're saying like
bars.
full houses. Like
Full
if somebody's
houses,
like,
yeah.
hey, I have nothing packed. I
Yeah,
need you to
one
come.
day is what we try to do. 'em.
Wow.
If you guys, a couple days usually is the max. If you get into like a house that's 20,000 square foot or whatever,
sure.
they have a
Oh, geez, yeah,
business
yeah.
on property. then
Where's
we're
that
gonna-
house?
Like my house.
Where is that 20,000
kidding.
square foot house?
Trust me.
Do they have a
I have a
realtor?
tiny ranch. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right. And that's when it can get a little lengthy.
Sure.
But again,
Sure.
we tailor every single move to the person's budget and what they want done.
Yeah.
If they just want a couple large items throughout the home, that's fine. You want us to come and move 5 boxes?
Sure.
That's cool. You have 500 boxes in a full house, or a game for that too.
I loved that too, by the way, because you asked me that. You said, what do you want? And you gave me like a list of different options
That's
at
nice.
different prices, which was fantastic. And, I liked having the choice instead of it just being like, this is what we're doing and this is how much it costs you, right? So that was
Because
really
if there's like
nice.
some things like you maybe family heirlooms that I want in my that I don't want to move or maybe to move or whatever. That's
Right.
nice that like you can pick and choose. So like will you also like go into someone's house and like fully pack all their dishes, silverware, everything?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
That's
I
it.
just,
Next
I
time I
just want to
move,
say, I was just going to say,
I'm like, ugh.
I'm going to put this on the record for Bill Davies, my husband. If we ever move, that is what we are doing.
I was thinking the
Done.
same thing.
I can't do it. I've done it too many times. I've hung up my moving gloves. I can't.
That music to
You
my
know?
ears.
It's such
We
a-
all get to that age where, hey, you've seen the meme about the beer and the pizza thing.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Pulled muscle.
Yeah.
Right? None of our friends want to help.
Yes.
They really
yeah,
don't.
nowadays like we can buy our own.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm jumping for
exactly.
joy when we all get to that age where
Yeah.
it's like our stuff is too nice to have our friends move
Right.
it.
Correct.
Right.
And we don't want anyone getting hurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, we were there for any scenario.
And so again, like Fiona said, so let's say, okay, my house is just a little ranch, 3,000 square feet ish. You would come in that morning, you'd pack everything.
Absolutely, yeah.
and then still move it that same day, probably?
We could, yeah. And
Okay.
depending on, okay, so there's all different kinds of
Well,
people, right?
of course. Oh, trust me, we know. We
Depending
know.
on your scenario, usually we
Correct.
can get in there, get everything packed up. But no more than a 2-day show.
Sure. Yeah.
But it all depends on how much stuff you collect.
Sure, sure.
And we call it collecting.
We know. Yep.
I'm a
Oh,
purger, so I'd be
yes.
pretty quick.
Yeah, me too.
I'm literally
I'm
like
a minimalist.
Like
but
sometimes we'll don't ever, hopefully no family members ever see this, but we'll like get things and we'll like literally immediately like Goodwill.
Yeah, you're like,
Because
listen.
I'm like, we're not gonna use.
What are we going to do with this?
thing.
Yes. But I know what you're saying because trust me, we've been in those homes. We have been in those homes.
Oh, yeah.
Where there's collections, lots of them. Yes. So I get it. That's going to take a little bit longer. That's really cool though. One funny thing that I want to say is that when we moved, so I grew up here, lived in Chicago for a while, met my husband there. When we moved back home, Oshkosh Corp, where he works, shout out to them, paid for, movers. So that was the only time that so far, again, it would be that way if I ever moved again, but that was the only time we ever had like people come and pack for us. Now it was funny because when we got to our new apartment back here, my mom and I were like unpacking stuff and like the little Ziploc bag of toothpicks that we had was wrapped in like 3 pieces of paper.
Like so like meticulous.
Yes. Like we had mountains of paper. So is that something you have to kind of do?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's just a standard thing. Like we always say, more paper, no breaking, right?
Sure.
And it looks cool. It's professional.
Sure. It was just my mom and I were like,
Like during the holidays, you do like red and green paper, so like people can reuse it. People can reuse it for like their Christmas gifting.
there you go.
That actually could be a
There you go.
sales tip. We'll help
Yeah,
you move and help you wrap your
exactly.
presents.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my gosh.
Well,
I love
I
that.
think like that just goes back on the quality. Like the people that were doing that for you cared so much.
Sure.
That's probably like the way I look at it. Unnecessary.
Yeah.
But
Funny,
caring.
but still caring.
Caring,
I get it.
Caring,
Yeah.
So I should plan for that. My next bag of toothpicks is
Yes.
going to be.
Yeah, paper.
Fully wrapped.
I tell our customers when we do the full pack job, you're going to end up with so much paper that
Mm-hmm.
we have to come get it. So we offer like a debris pickup.
Oh, you do?
Oh,
See,
that's
that's
nice.
nice. See, that's what they didn't do. That's what that company didn't do. And so, we moved back. We moved into an apartment because we hadn't bought a house yet or whatever. And we're in this little tiny apartment and there's just like this mountains. And we're like, where do we go with all this? And the dumpsters, way across the apartment complex and things. So that's nice.
Yeah, so
that
we'll
you come
offer
back
that.
for it.
Yeah, we offer that in that package as well.
Sure.
Amongst a bunch of other things as well.
Sure. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is really nice.
Now, tell us how many, where did you, okay, so when you started this, was it like just you and a few like movers? And then where are you today with your staff?
So as far as staffing is concerned, yes, we had a few people come over with me from that other company in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
They helped me with it. We grew together. Some of us aren't here yet with
Yeah.
us, but we thank them for all their help getting to
Sure.
this point. But we surrounded ourselves with people that know the business,
Mm-hmm.
that have worked with me side by side for the last 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
not only at Smooth Move, but at other places.
Sure.
They know what I expect, out of them,
Yep.
and they know what they expect out of me as a boss. So I think us staying smaller right now, we have about 5 of us that are main full time.
Okay.
We do have quite a few people that are like a part time kind of thing.
Sure.
And as we grow, they might turn into full time,
Sure.
right? But yeah, so I think surrounding ourselves with those people that
Mm-hmm.
I started with in the beginning got us that good foundation of to keep the quality high.
Yeah.
So if you have 5 core people and you have somebody, let's say, that's moving to Minnesota or somewhere you have to drive far.
Yeah.
Are you using like a subcontractor to drive that, or like you taking one of your core people?
Yeah, so we'll
and then
actually-
you'll have less people to help move for the next job.
100%. So what we'll do is we'll just tone it down here. So if we decide, hey, what's gonna make
Oh,
most
for sure.
sense, right?
Absolutely. It's a business.
And so
Yep.
we'll send out maybe like a couple of our main crew leaders out to that job. They'll take some of our part times with them.
Okay,
Sure.
And
sure.
then we will stay here with our other full times. Plus I jump in too.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
sure.
I mean that's like 2.
Sure.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's like a whole team by itself.
it's a whole
I
team
mean,
by itself.
really.
My guys will get a kick out of that when they hear this. But yeah, so then
Yeah.
we navigate it that way.
Sure.
Like I said, there's a lot of people wanting to join our team.
Sure.
So we're able to kind of
pull when you need to, and yeah, that's good.
And make them compete.
I was just going to say, that's another good thing because you know what? Oh my gosh, let's just talk real here for a second. When you hire somebody, they can, I've had this, that you think it's one thing and then all of a sudden it's another. So if you get to see their actual work product, it's like, okay, this is somebody that I would hire in the future full time versus maybe not,
A trial period.
you know?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's all about quality and customer service. We need people in your house that represent our company at the highest level,
Yes.
as well as the moving and everything else.
Right.
Our industry, unfortunately, and you guys have probably noticed this if you've ever worked with other movers. We're not going to mention any of them, but it's just a little. Sometimes you feel uneasy, right?
Sure.
We don't want that. We want you to feel like your family is helping you.
Sure.
Throughout the whole thing, and you
Yeah.
feel comfortable in your home with these guys. You know, that's the biggest thing I've noticed with a lot of customers.
I appreciate that. Yep.
Yeah, you don't want
Your
your
guys
stuff
were
thrown around.
yeah, your guys were great, and I do appreciate that because I know what you're saying. It's like sometimes you get, and I think probably part of it is just the job is hard, right?
It's hard in in this area. They don't get paid a lot. So how can you expect to have high quality when you pay your workers so bad? You know what I mean? So for us, it's a win-win because we get the best people
Yeah.
because of that. You know.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So like, do you do like in the summer? I feel like in real estate, a big chunk of our stuff is in the summer months. So you're probably getting the most, not saying all of it, but a lot of the moves. So do you guys ever do like internships with like high school students, or do you mostly, how do you typically bring people on just for those trial periods, or
This
maybe
is,
just for those busy months?
Great, awesome question that you brought up because I would have forgot to talk about it. Yes, we go in with our church body. We have
Sure.
people that go to our church. Their kids are old enough. They want they're physical. Say they're football players.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
there
thinking.
you
Like
go.
you got your summer jobs.
We have
Yeah.
a few neighbor kids in our area who
Sure.
are just awesome.
Yeah.
And these kids they're shining stars. I
Yeah.
mean, they have no idea the potential they're going to have
Right.
with the work ethic that they're getting right now.
Sure.
This last summer, the best summer for those kind
That's
of kids.
awesome.
Again, they're out there, trying to get a workout, right? We're not necessarily putting them on your, $1,000 dresser, right?
Yeah,
Right.
right.
So,
But still,
right.
picking up box after box.
Right.
Yeah, so they're learning. So we let them learn
Yeah.
and they get comfortable there. But nailed it. Yeah, the high
Yeah.
school kids,
Isn't it
college
fun
kids.
too? Like when like you said, best summer for that. We had a summer intern as well. Shout out to little Miss Evelyn. She was so
Oh,
sweet,
yeah.
and I think she's gonna come back this summer. But it was great because I totally saw her growth. I think her internship with us was one of the first jobs that she's had, one of them, and I just saw so much growth over. She was great when she started, but just
Absolutely.
grew. So great job, Evelyn. Come back to us this next summer.
Yes,
But isn't that
those
fun?
kids.
Isn't that fun when you see that?
Yeah, and then their parents, come up to us like, hey, wow, they're really like
Yeah.
turning into a man,
Right.
or whatever, you know what I mean, or whatever,
Right.
woman, whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just like, it's a good feeling, and
Right.
and to know that like they know that their kid is getting taken care of. The boss
Exactly.
isn't going to be mean.
Right.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
right.
It's kind of
Yeah.
hard and I would be the same way with my kids getting a job. I
Yeah.
want to make sure, obviously,
Right.
they're not doing what they're supposed to. But
Yep.
but yeah, it's been a good fit.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Very
that is
cool.
super awesome.
So then, do you mention? Do you have like salespeople too, or do you guys do all your own marketing and advertising?
You are looking at Smooth Moo's #1 salesman and
I
only
love
salesman.
it. I
And,
love it.
so
Top in the company, hey?
100%, yeah.
Congratulations. Mm-hmm.
I literally, for the last how many years in a row? 7 years in a row, #1 salesman.
Wow.
Still waiting for my trophy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, buys himself his own gift.
So yeah, I find time to sneak away,
Yeah.
and I get these done, and I make sure that these guys, are going to follow through with what I, sell.
Mm-hmm.
And 9 times out of 10, we really we're always going to hit the mark. We're always going to hit the mark.
Sure.
And it's just like these guys let me go out and kind of do my thing in
Mm-hmm.
the afternoon or the evening. And yeah, I'm the main sales guy.
That's awesome. Now, is Miss Angela also sales? Is she second in sales?
Angela, yeah, she would be close. I think she'd do really good at sales.
Oh, okay.
I think she would, but I think she's more of a behind the scenes, making sure that my emails make sense and they're
Sure.
spelled correctly.
Oh, that's good.
Keeping
Yeah.
us organized.
For sure.
People don't realize that she's mainly the glue holding it all together.
I love
can
that.
do the physical thing and
Right.
keep the guys under control, but she keeps this stuff
That's awesome.
completely like in check. We'll say.
So she's still nursing too? Just doing this?
No.
Okay.
Thank goodness she's able to help, Yeah. For
Yeah.
the last couple of years, she's been with me.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's awesome because I feel like that's when you know too that things are going kind of well, right? Because it's like, okay, just come over. In fact, there's been several times that I'm like, Bill, just come work here. Just be our full-time IT guy. Right now he does it all for free, But I'm like, but the thing with him is he, again, shout out to Oshkosh Corp. Realtors don't get health
I was
insurance.
gonna say I would never offer that to Brady. That dude is my insurance man. I'm like, you gotta keep your job at Miller Electric.
I know.
You,
I'm like, Bill,
I need your insurance.
You can go
buddy.
anywhere you want as long as they offer a good health insurance plan,
I'm
sir.
like, I would never even offer that. I'm like, man, we have to start paying for our own insurance.
Yeah.
It's gonna go
Yeah.
downhill quick.
But I'm just saying, that's when you know that, things are going well. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's awesome.
We're super blessed. Everybody's got, banded behind us in the Fox Valley. We started, Nina, Appleton, Oshkosh. So yeah, we really appreciate all the
Yeah.
support.
Well, and you guys are so sweet. And I think that's just so important. It's just being nice, being friendly, being kind to people, right?
Yeah.
People like that. And I don't know, sometimes there's not enough of that. Or just being real too.
I was gonna say for me, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, am I always the nicest person in the world? No, but like authenticity, I think is huge for me. Like, you
Yeah.
can tell when people are genuine, when people are just faking it to get that next sale.
Right.
So like, yeah, you guys are very authentic, and I think that's especially like, I mean, you're trusting somebody to go into your home,
Right.
to take your belongings that you worked your whole life to be able to acquire. So I mean, I think that's absolutely huge. So yeah, I mean, I told that to Brady too. I'm like, we moved from an apartment to our 4-bed house, and I'm like, I will never move again. Like,
gosh.
or if we do, like, I mean, like me personally, I'm never
Correct.
moving because that.
Yes, I
Sounds like a living-
personally,
correct.
I might move to a new location.
Correct.
But I will not be
Yes.
packing.
Correct.
I will not be moving
Like,
the
I thought moving
boxes.
from the apartment was a lot of work, and now I'm like, oh my gosh.
You get into a house, and again, even though you and I are very
It's
minimalist
just like
and things,
furnishing the
there's
bedrooms.
still,
Like,
there's
I have
still
4
so many
beds I
things.
need to move. No, thank
Exactly.
you.
Yeah.
You got to put them together and take them apart.
I know.
geez.
What the
Yeah.
heck? I've already put them together once. That's good. That's good.
Tell us, like, what has been, obviously, we're not gonna name names or addresses or anything like that, but what has been like one of the biggest jobs that you've ever had, or like coolest things that you? Because I'm sure you see some cool things.
Yeah, I mean,
We see cool houses.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest job we ever did, I mean, we do commercial jobs too,
Oh,
so
that's
we're
right.
not just a household,
Sure.
whatever. So we've done, 98 or 100,000 square foot, industrial buildings in
Sure.
the valley here.
Sure.
Moving all their stuff, all their machines and everything.
That's
so we do that.
huge.
Yeah, that is huge.
The coolest stuff, man, we see a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, we got, okay, so the most recent, I'm going to go
Okay.
most recent because
Sure.
there's so much. In Oshkosh,
Mm-hmm.
apartment in Oshkosh, they got out 8 apartments on the River Mill Apartments to make one
Oh,
Sure.
cool.
Oh,
You guys- I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know
Is
if
that
you
that corner one?
Yeah.
On the main floor?
with the elevator in
Yeah,
the middle.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So we took that.
awesome.
We had to pack the whole entire thing.
Oh my
We
gosh.
took them all the way to Minneapolis, downtown Minneapolis,
Wow.
to the 21st floor, high rise down there.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
That apartment in Oshkosh, I've never seen anything like it.
That is so cool.
It was awesome.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yep. We've seen a lot of people that are into hunting, so we see people like that. So if you're into that kind of thing, we've seen some rooms that would make you.
I always
Oh, sure.
call it the wall of death.
I don't hunt, so I just go, okay.
We don't either. I know.
This looks
Yep.
cool.
Okay, right. Yep. So you get to transfer those little animals.
Yeah, we have had to. Yeah, we've had to
Okay.
pack some alligators and
Oh my
giraffes,
gosh.
I think, hippopotamuses, all
For
kinds.
real?
That's
Everything.
legal.
I know, I was
Everything
gonna
I
say.
didn't know you could hunt hippos.
Well, these customers, they go to like Africa. and
Oh,
they have them
oh yeah,
shipped
I
Like,
doubted
they
they
get
were
it.
going to be here.
Sure,
Yeah.
they probably get like
the
a,
Wisconsin
they're-
hippopotamus.
we got this from the
We got this from the
Menominee
yeah,
Zoo.
From the bay. We got it from the Bay of Green Bay.
we got this down in the
man.
Fox River.
Hippo got a little lost.
So yeah, it's
That's crazy though.
oh my goodness. I mean, we at the end of this, I think we'll write a book at some of this stuff.
You really should. And we always say that too. I'm always like, if I just had a little realtor cam, just a little cam
Oh, yeah.
or something,
Whoa.
because the things
would not believe.
that the
Should we have a
things
full like show?
that
Oh.
go on, right?
Yeah.
You see some of the coolest things. You see some of the craziest
Yep.
things. You see some things.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you another question. Do you guys do, there's people that are just, I really feel like it's a mental health situation when we get to a point where it's just the house is just
Oh,
packed
sure.
full, right?
100%.
And so I don't personally, and sorry for the realtors that do this, but I don't like it. And I've actually said this on Facebook before. I don't like it when realtors post photos like, look at this house that I just purchased and how terrible it is, right?
Oh, sure. And then
That's how those people were living, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a mental health condition. You might not understand that, but it's like being depressed or having, you know what I mean? Like it's so don't do that to people, right? Don't go there. But do you guys help people out in those kind of situations?
Absolutely. So I want you to have more stuff. No matter what it is.
Okay.
If you have a mental issue, if you have a spending problem.
He's like, I don't
want
care.
More stuff.
If you get everything off QVC,
yeah,
it's
and
fine.
we've had that.
Okay.
So in the
Okay.
past, and what we do is we move it all.
Sure.
And it's fine.
Okay.
But the one where we need to do like the debris removal, or we call it, debris removal is a good
Sure.
word. We have small like units that we can bring.
Okay.
Dumpster kind of things.
Yeah.
And then we'll do that prior to the move. Get them all
Perfect.
kind of cleaned out,
Yeah.
or we'll do the donation.
And I love that too.
I don't think people understand that they
Yes.
can reach out to us as a moving company, or any moving company, I hope, with a list of items, and we can take it to the donation place.
I
for
love
you.
that.
Do you know what I mean?
I love that.
Yeah.
Or add that into like the service when we're there, like instead of jamming your car full, or
Right.
having people come to pick stuff up from your home. Let us handle that. Again, we're the one-stop shop, from the decluttering to the anything you can think of. But the bottom line is, we're not here to make people feel bad when they have
Yeah.
stuff.
Sure.
If they're not moving, would you still go to somebody's, like, say, grandma couldn't take care of it or something, and the kids are like, grandma's still living in the house, but like we need help.
Yeah.
Make
Like,
it
I
more
just-
inhabitable for grandma. Do
Absolutely.
you go in
I just
without
had a
the
seller
actual-
recently that we had to we needed to clean the entire house out and then list it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Be
So-
proactive. Call us 1st. Don't wait and inherit mom and dad stuff that
Right.
you don't want.
Right.
And you've told us that how you do it. You throw stuff away.
Yeah, I do.
Let's do it now.
Secret's out.
Otherwise, you're calling me
Yeah.
when you guys are grieving. Say mom and dad passed away. Now you're calling us grieving, and now we're throwing everything away. Then it's just
Yeah.
better to do it now
Yep.
Correct.
and move on. But,
I love that you donate things though too, because I always want to donate things. And there are definitely times that I do, but there are just times that I feel like I'm just so in a move situation too. It's like I'm so busy. I'm just like,
Just pitch
pitch
it.
it, pitch it instead of donating it. So I love that you do that, because if I could hand it off to somebody else, perfect.
Absolutely. I
I
think
think
that's
for
smart.
downsizing, that's probably a huge one.
Yeah.
Because if you're going from like a lot, I work with a lot of people that maybe they're older, they have this huge house that then they're moving into a condo or something, and they have some beautiful pieces, but it just simply won't fit their new house.
Right.
And I feel like for that one would be a huge option for donation.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely. Huge need in the valley. For it.
For sure. And that's the other thing. I always say, like, I try to be educated about it, but I think we often kind of just live our lives in our bubble. And there's a big need for things right here. It's
It's a huge need. Like, I mean, I do it personally. Like, we had like a couch, for example, and I put on Facebook Marketplace, and I said for free, and so many people
for
were like,
sure.
"We just purchased a house and we don't have funds, or we just got our first condo or apartment, and so like, there's such a huge need for that.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that just have so much stuff that they just don't like. Yeah, that they're just throwing it like in a landfill.
Yeah.
When so many people could use.
Don't throw it away. Donate it.
Yeah. Huge.
Donate it.
Yeah. So, and another thing too is like what we like to do, just kind of stay like, green or whatever.
Sure.
We'll reuse our boxes. So I think you
Ooh, I
guys
like
took
that.
advantage of that.
You did.
So
we did. And that was amazing. You offered them to us, which was amazing. And I was like, sure, that's great.
Yeah, so we'll do that with every move that we have. If people just need some boxes, whatever. I mean,
Sure.
just to kind of help them out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just another way to kind of.
I love that.
it
I love
great.
that. And honestly, I think that's so great, because what is the first thing that most people say when they're moving if they are packing themselves? And again, our office, we packed ourselves because, it wasn't that much, right? But we packed ourselves. First thing everybody says, where are we going to get boxes?
Yep.
Where are we going to get
Yep.
boxes?
You go to like
So I was, "Where are we
grocery
gonna get-"
stores. I was in a
Yes.
grocery store. Like, do you guys have like extra like wine boxes or something?
They're like, what's wrong with this lady?
Yeah, I literally. But they always do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
And those are fine. And I tell people, do what you can. But if you can get the real deal stuff for free,
Sure.
and we drop them off for free. So
And
really,
that's so
So
nice.
that's what I was
too.
gonna ask.
I mean-
If you're reusing them, is this like some? Do you have to pay for it, or are you like, hey,
No.
because we're taking these back and using them on a different job, you could
Yeah,
just.
so
Wow,
we'll
that's
reuse them a
huge.
couple times for free, and then what we do then is I have the guys use them for floor covering afterwards. You saw how we cover the
Yes.
floors, right?
Yeah, you
So-
guys were very careful.
So those boxes then they will be used for floor covering with the neoprene runners and all the
Yeah.
waterproof stuff that we use.
Sure.
It's just awesome.
That's
Just
smart.
Yeah, that is
everything
super
looking
smart.
nice, and
Love
then we don't have
that.
any issues with the home. And then you move
Yep.
out, and all of a sudden now somebody doesn't want to close because there's a scratch on the floor.
Yep.
Sure, you've seen that.
For sure.
So we nipped that in the bud right off the bat. We
That's
just
awesome.
want
Yeah, that
smooth
is
for
huge.
everybody.
Yeah, you guys are really, I felt like everything got here perfectly, which is great.
Make my day.
That's what we
Again.
Did you move these chairs?
These chairs
I
I
was
did.
like, are we sitting in
moved
the,
these
in the
chairs.
presentation? Like,
Oh,
it's
I
like
moved
this
this thing
room.
behind
Room,
you.
Ryan
I was like, we're
and
moving
his
presentation.
crew touched.
Yeah, I single-handedly carried this on my back because it was rolled up.
Oh,
That's
you
right.
I got
The
lost
grass.
in it. They didn't know if I was a piece of grass or a
Yes.
bush
Yep.
running through the
This was an interesting one to move. Yeah.
Because it's not on the wood thing anymore.
No, we took it off
it
of
was
that.
rolled up in a roll, and I just took
I
out
like
running
it
with
on
it.
this. But sorry, I'm like
Yeah,
getting
no,
distracted. I'm like,
we
wait.
took it off of, and we were talked about this on our podcast last week a little bit. We took it off of that frame because that frame was made because we had to do it in that
Corner,
corner in the
yeah.
office.
It looks nice.
Now we don't have to do
Yeah,
a
this looks
corner
really nice,
anymore.
yeah.
We're not stuck in the corner
I know.
Yeah,
anymore.
this look. Yeah, I feel like it's like this. I can see people. Well, besides this, but I'm like I can kind of see you guys.
I know. I'm looking at you through
I know.
the middle
I
thing.
literally,
It's
my
okay.
eyes were like.
Yeah.
We need an extension cord.
I feel like you guys just offer a ton of services, which is amazing. Now, I want to ask you one more thing because, again, I always love hearing about, the lessons learned. What do you feel like has been, like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind in terms of, like, big lesson that you've learned throughout owning this business and doing this?
Lessons. I mean, my thing that I'm working on now and that I need to learn is for a lesson is just my family life, business balance.
Yeah, that's hard.
I'm the salesman, I'm the mover, I'm the HR person, kind of, right? And everything else. So it's hard to juggle all that, plus still be a good husband, dad. My kids are getting to the point where they have their
Yep.
extracurricular, like baseballs and stuff.
Sports,
I
yeah.
need to be there for it. So that was the only thing I can see juggling it. I've always been a go-getter from the get-go. When I see it pay off, it doesn't matter how hard I had to, what I had to do to get there or the obstacles because it paid off.
Yep.
My main thing is just getting that figured out. I think that was my biggest challenge.
I hear you. I feel you. I see you. That's always been one of my hardest things. And Fiona too is like my top girl, and she, she
I don't even
kills
have
it.
kids yet, and I'm like, oh god, like
She-
it's gonna be hard. Like I mean,
she
like
kills it.
I've written offers on a pontoon boat in Florida with my husband's family around me, and I'm like, what? I was at my own bachelorette
She
party.
wrote an
My own
offer at her bachelorette party.
Like, everyone's
I felt
downstairs
so
having fun.
bad.
I'm upstairs. I double-headed it, so it was. But I'm like, God, I felt. And my sister, I have two older sisters and a younger brother, but. My one sister was like, well, she works hard. My other one's like, but then I felt bad because I'm like, they did all this work and all my friends flew to Texas and I'm upstairs like, sorry, like I don't want these deals. I'm like, oh, and so that was hard for me.
So,
It was.
Mother Kelly, I'm older than you. Mother Kelly will give you a little advice, whether you want it or not. My advice, and I've learned this really the hard way, is I worked myself to almost like way too far. To like grippy socks in the mental, like almost to that point. I worked a lot. And then I finally got help and started a team, and all, because I used to just be sort of like my own thing in the beginning. And it all has paid off, yes. But I think it's so important I heard this at a conference and I always think about this. Work-life balance probably isn't a thing, but work-life harmony, right? So that's what we got to try for. So it's like my kids know, and I'm sure they understand, they've seen it. When they were little, I'd get a phone call, Zillow, new buyer lead or something, and they're little and they don't understand, and you got to like go hide in a closet to take the call, right? But now they're almost 12 and 9, and they know all I have to do is go, guys, and they're like, okay. We have to be quiet right now, right? They get it, and they get that this is how mom makes money, and this is how we get to go do fun trips and do other things and all the things, right? So my biggest thing, I think, is just trying to be really present when I am with them, right? It's hard, but you got to draw a line somewhere. You have to. Where I used to be like, again, like Fiona, like Christmas Day, I don't care. I got to take this. This might be, I always was like, this is going to be maybe this is the last piece of business I'm ever going to get.
Right.
And the reality of it is that's not true, right? And most people will treat you how you teach them to treat you, right? And so somebody would text me at 11:30 p.m. and I would be like, well, I got to get right back to them. You don't have to
And then
do
they
that.
expect that.
You know what I mean?
And you nailed it. I've heard this a couple times, the same thing, in which I'm gonna take to heart now because it's true. I mean, we're always gonna need another move. Okay. In the beginning, I
Yes.
didn't. I
I
was
hear
in that
you.
mindset.
Yep.
And you nailed it for me because it's like, but I got to get this one. But I don't know if I'm gonna get another one. It's winter time.
I got to feed my
Like
family.
usually, I mean,
gotta-
I'm
yep.
not even gonna lie to you. Usually, this is part of part of the years when I start to get a little
Oh, yeah.
because it slows
Yes,
down.
Yep.
Are we doing bad?
I
no.
hear you.
No, yeah, because look at what you did
No.
the rest of the
Me
year.
too. I'm like, is my phone still on? I know.
Right.
Because we live in a.
But
I
then
think
you
it's a
have
blessing
people-
though.
Yep.
Because it starts slowing down during
Bringing
the
me
holidays.
back to reality.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's about like I mean, I kill myself all year. I've already
Yeah.
hit my goal I want to hit. So if, like if I only do maybe I've already gotten one deal this month, so that's great. But if I do a couple more, it's like okay, if I don't, I can be with my family. I don't have to be running. And I think like a huge thing too that's in all of our jobs, like obviously you're my boss, but still being an independent, is when you don't know where your next paycheck is coming from, it's hard not to chase that.
Correct.
Because like
Oh,
for
for
me,
sure,
it's like
yeah.
if I'm, when I'm in Florida, it's like, okay, if I don't answer my phone call and schedule a showing for this client, and they go with another realtor, all that previous work I did for that client, I don't get paid for. You know what I mean? So I think that's what makes it so hard to not chase is because in your mind you're like, wow, I did all that work for somebody, and if they go to a random open house and write an offer with that agent because I didn't connect them with a coworker to help them, I lost out on that money, and there's not another paycheck for sure coming in. But I think the more like how all of us, the more you're in the industry,
Yes.
the more you're like for example, I got client that moved to Rhode Island is like, hey, we're moving back. I showed him one house, got an accepted offer. Did I know that this client was going to come back? No. But before you know it, you're like, okay, yeah, there always is more deals.
Yes.
But it's so hard to get out of the mindset of like,
Yes.
if I don't chase this person, I don't get a paycheck, and my paycheck feeds my family.
Right.
And I think for me that is
Yeah.
the hardest thing for me to overcome. Is because
agree.
we're not 9 to 5. We don't get a
Right.
salary.
No.
We could make millions of dollars. We could make nothing. And I think that for me was the hardest thing to overcome of not chasing and chasing and
And
chasing.
now that you guys built your brand,
Correct.
similar to us now, we're out there, people
For
know
sure.
us. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Now
comes
we
more
have
organic.
that consistency that we were kind of scared about prior because who are you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, that's
and
what
you're
you
still
guys
getting
have done a
referral.
great
I'm getting
job.
so many more referrals. Like I've been in the business now 5 years. So now half of my business now is referrals where I'm not so reliant on chasing and people are like, yeah, they'll be more patient if I'm gone because they got me from a friend, right? Versus being like, well, I don't know who you are. Let's go to another agent. You know what I mean?
Exactly, where you have to prove yourself.
Correct, 100%.
There's that fine line where it's like you do appreciate every ounce of business, and you want to do them all, and you want to treat them like gold and all the things, but there's also that nobody else. This is what I always say too. In this world that we live in of social media and cell phones and all the things, you're not going to get a hold of. Well, you might be able to go to the emergency room, but you're not going to get a hold of your actual doctor at 9 p.m. You're not going to get a hold of your hairstylist at 9 p.m. Most things you're not going to get a hold of at those times, right? So I just kind of remind myself, like, if I don't answer until the morning, the world is not going to end, right?
And if they
Yes,
can't wait
nailed
for
it.
me,
And then
those
I
are probably
probably
not the
didn't
clients
wanna
I don't
work
wanna
with them.
Because they're the ones that are going to run you and run you
Yep.
and run you, and then they're gonna be like, just kidding. I don't want to move forward
Yes.
or whatever.
Or you're going to move their stuff and they're going to, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
you
certain
know, yeah.
people, sorry, but there's certain people out there that are just not very
Yeah.
nice.
Yep, and that's why I like that I do the sales.
Yeah, because you get to,
You
yep.
get to dictate.
I come in there, hey, how you doing? 15 minutes, we know if we're gonna move forward.
You know,
Right.
you get that, yep.
And we're not mean about it.
No.
We just know,
Right.
and I just know, and we all are. That's why we go over there because we
Yep.
want realistic expectations for our customers on both ends.
Right.
That's a huge one. Realistic
Yes.
expectations.
Real,
Yes.
and I always say that to them, and like sometimes I gotta remember or remind them, hey, remember the realistic expectations we were talking about?
Right.
Okay, so for me to swing down off the 21st floor, with this piece of furniture that won't fit up here, it's
Right.
not gonna work.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
They always
Yep.
get it.
Yeah. No, I think that's so great. Managing expectations, right? We always say I love it. I love all of it. I think you're doing a fantastic job.
Well, thank you so much. It makes me feel so good that you would even consider us to have us on here.
Stop. You're amazing.
Yeah.
These are fun. Yeah.
We're going to keep recommending you guys to everybody.
Well, we appreciate
So-
it. And whatever you need, we will keep giving that 10-star quality with a
love that.
smile to everybody, no matter what their situation is.
Yeah.
Collector, not collector, new home.
Yeah,
sure.
So one thing to kind of bring back to, I guess,
Yeah.
our original point of talking about moving things, we kind of went on a tangent there. But the first thing that came to my mind, what I'm guessing a lot of our listeners do, is price. So
Sure.
I know you said you kind of fit in people's budgets, but you probably have some set price points. So what is like a low end and what is like I'm moving everything?
So I always like to tell people, like, I hate giving prices until I see a list of your items.
Sure.
So we generate a price based on the list, where you're going to and from.
Okay.
We'd like to bundle it all together. So we're not having like this extra fee for fuel and this extra stair fee because now you're going to an apartment or whatever,
Oh,
you know,
sure,
because
sure,
nobody
sure.
told us. So I'd like to get the addresses, get everything all narrowed down, look at the list and tell you. So we have moves that will be as cheap as $800.
Okay.
You know, and we have moves that will go all the way up to, I don't know,
Right. It
Like,
just
what's your
depends
most
upon.
expensive? I'm actually
Yeah.
curious on that. I'm like, those are the big ones.
don't really like to talk about this. No, I'm just kidding. So I would say if you get a full service move and you have a large home and you would need packing, you would need some crating of like, you know, deer head mounts,
Sure, sure, sure.
TVs.
Like a lot of stuff.
I would think that you would be looking, you could go all the way up to, you know, $40,000-$50,000,
Right.
depending on what you have.
Sure,
I
sure.
mean,
If you got a ton
some of our
yes.
customers have dressers that they spend $20,000 for one item.
Right.
Oh, right.
Pictures on the wall for 50 grand. So it's all in
Right.
perspective.
High end quality stuff. Yeah.
Do you want to add extra insurance?
Well, I thought your pricing was great. Honestly,
Yeah,
I thought
we-
your pricing was very reasonable. And so, yeah, I mean, yeah, if you have, like you said, if you have a 20,000 square foot house
Oh,
and a
yeah,
whole
for
lot of
sure.
things, and you're like, I want you to pack every single thing, and I want you to, there's going to be a
It's
cost
also
involved.
nice to know if I'm like, hey,
right?
I only have X amount budgeted for moving.
Right. Yep.
This is my budget. Do what you can. I'll do the rest.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
I think that's one really nice thing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I say. Send me over the big heavy items, and then if the budget is there's still more in there, then let's throw the boxes.
Right.
Right.
You know, or you know, 9 times out of 10, we work out a really good deal with whoever it is because
Yeah.
we're just thankful that you guys go with us. Yeah, we're not going to match quality of you know, a 3-star mover in the valley for pricing. We're not
for
going to
sure.
match that kind of pricing. But
You
we're-
get what you pay
You,
for.
100%. And I'm not trying, and we're probably not
Yeah.
going to open up to broken glasses and broken plates. either.
Right.
Right.
Right. Like, you
Exactly.
absolutely get what
Yep.
you pay for, 100%.
150,000% in every industry, yours, ours, anyone that you go with. I think. But yeah, I think we're getting there.
I
Sweet. Yeah,
I love
that's
it. I love it. How many moves do you think you're doing in a year, roughly?
Oh my goodness.
Like
we'd have to do some-
2024.
We'd have
What
to
do you
do some
think?
math on that. I would say sometimes we can do 7 to 14 a week sometimes, depending
Okay.
on how big they are,
Sure.
families. So it's just
So you've done hundreds and hundreds.
yeah. Well, I mean, since we opened,
I mean, just like,
Right.
let's say 2024.
so what is it? 7. Let's just do 7 a week times 4 would be 28. 28 times, would that be
52
yeah.
weeks
So
in a year.
I would say, what is
Just
this?
take out my little calculator here. I'm gonna,
600.
wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I realize that there are that many people moving.
Holy.
I mean, you got to realize
Like,
too.
holy cow.
We get tons of like, you know, we get people that buy workout equipment because you have to realize too. We
Oh,
also, if
sure.
you go buy a workout equipment in the valley, there's no one here in the valley that puts them together, right? So then we give our cards to those places. We then deliver that for you. We do medical
That's
beds. for, like-
smart.
Oh, so you're not just moving, you're just doing, you could even just do one-off items.
Yeah, we got our. I'm getting our hands in everything with these guys.
I love that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things like staging for
Yeah.
you guys. We do staging for new
sure.
homes.
Shush.
Yeah.
Now this is a whole new ball game.
Yeah, no kidding. That is,
Okay, so a long time ago,
he's thinking this is why I'm the salesman.
he's like, well, here, let's
Actively
talk.
doing it while we're,
You're right. Yeah.
I-
We're getting out of here with a deal today.
yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
I used to think that I wanted to do staging, like on top of everything else, right?
Yep.
And there's some really great realtors out there that do it themselves. I personally feel like it is, what I've learned from seeing it is it's a moving job, a lot of it.
Every
It's a
single
moving
day.
job.
Yep.
And that is just not something that I have the
moving and
time
storage.
or trucks
store all the stuff.
or any of that.
I'll store your stuff for you, and then whenever
Shucks.
you
Like,
need
that's
to,
the
we'll just
hardest
bring it
thing.
out.
Yeah.
Are you
Like, you
serious?
have to have a
Okay,
whole
we're gonna have to
additional
talk.
U-Haul.
Yeah.
For real, we're gonna have to talk about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's a few in the area that they have been doing this for over the last 6-7 years. Home builders too.
There's a big
So
need,
do you
to
just
be
bring
honest,
this
there's a
stuff
big
in,
need
or
for
do you
it.
actually like stage it?
So
or could we be like, hey,
their
put this here,
designer
here, here?
is usually there. The designer that
Okay.
they have, that
And
they
then they'll
choose.
tell you where to put the
They
stuff.
tell me where to put it.
Oh my gosh,
Sure.
that's that'd be
That's
really nice.
And then the house
amazing.
sells, so we
Yep.
come in, they have us box everything up again.
Yep.
If it's ready to go to a new house, we'll go to the new house, or we'll just store it till
This
it's ready.
is like the
Yeah.
best thing I've heard all week.
Yeah, because it's really it's
yeah.
the storing of all this stuff that's and
Correct.
adds up. Because if like not every house needs staging. A lot of houses in the valley sell so quickly. You don't. So
Right.
it is like I do a lot of new builds as well, and it's those are the ones you need it for that maybe sit a little bit longer. Those high end houses, but it's in like your store. You have a storage unit that's empty because you're using the stuff. You're just paying, so you're like almost losing money on
Yeah,
the
it's-
sale.
That's the
of
thing.
it.
My
have to
husband and
be-
I have really tried to go over the numbers of like, okay, if we got all this inventory ourselves and we started doing our own staging, and it just doesn't make sense.
The money doesn't add
Well,
up.
see when we got into it, there was another company helping them out with their thing, and we can't tell you who it was,
Mm-hmm.
but their issue is the company would come in, not cover the floors, right, and they would start dragging this furniture across these brand new floors, right?
Oh, yikes,
Yeah.
yikes, yikes,
So
yikes.
now you're talking
It's not good. Yeah.
replacing the floor, furniture's getting dinged up. So since we started with that company, they haven't had to buy a new piece of furniture in 7 years.
That's
We moved
awesome.
the same stuff for the last 7
And
years.
that's what you want to make the money furniture make sense. You don't want to keep buying
Yeah, well,
couches for a
yeah.
fake house.
Well,
you know,
bottom
like-
line is we care.
Yeah.
So we
Right.
cover everything.
Right.
Where they
Important.
didn't, they would drag
Take
stuff across
care of the
floor,
inventory that they have.
set
I
their
love
couches
this.
on like concrete.
and that's probably the difference of price too.
Well, now we have.
where you get the quality.
Yeah,
There you
but-
go. You came into the podcast, and now you're going to have more business.
He's like, as
Absolutely,
planned.
win-win. That was my plan. Hey, that was my plan. I didn't know how it was going to work out.
And
but-
also, if any other realtors are listening, they will probably be calling. you.
Staging,
To be
everything.
very honest, there's, I feel, and I think you do too, a big need for it. There's very few people that do it. And again,
Correct.
probably because it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right.
You know, for somebody to just
Some
like
of 'em.
try to start a staging business. In fact, we had a woman that came in a while back, and she's an interior designer. She had a little storefront downtown. She had the whole thing. She's like, yep, I do staging, all the things. I probably didn't need her for, like you said, we don't need it for every house. I called her maybe 6 months later. I said, hey, I need you to do a staging job. And she goes, oh, I don't do that part anymore.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
like,
we
it just
got rid
got
of
to
it.
be too much.
That's why they need a team like us to come
Yeah.
in, kind of simplify it for you. And then what we've seen though, and I'm just one builder in particular. I mean, this lady stages this house. They're sold in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So we see her every week. It seems like
Mm-hmm.
as soon as she gets it set up, just to make it look livable or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, I don't know.
Yeah.
They've seen a lot of
Mm-hmm.
good things.
Yeah,
from
and
it.
I think for certain house, like if you're talking, lower price point homes, those are selling within a day.
Yeah, those
There's
I would-
no
I'm
point,
t-
but yeah,
yeah.
those empty.
Vacant homes
high-end,
do not sell
vacant-
as well.
No, because it's interesting. People are always like, "Should I move my stuff out before falls?" I'm like, "No,"
Right.
Because it looks so cold, and it's so hard to also envision what beds will look like. Like a room will they'll
Where
be
to
like,
place
"Oh, only
it.
a twin will look at," but then it's like in reality when it's furnished, like a full to a queen will fit in a bedroom, but it's so hard to envision it, and it makes it feel so much more warm and homey than like. You're going, especially in the winter. I hate showing vacant houses in the winter. It's
cold,
It's pitch black.
echoes.
There's no lights.
Yeah.
There's no lamps. You're going in there and it's freezing.
Yep.
And you're like, welcome home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
Doesn't
it's
this
hard.
feel inviting?
Right. It's like in the winter,
Yeah.
vacant ones are hard.
Well, this is great news. I mean, you guys really do it all, which is awesome. I love that because I have so many different times that I'm like going back to like just moving a piece of equipment too. My poor husband, I made him at one point, I told him, I said, take the Peloton, put it up in the bedroom because I'll use it more that way. Right. And then that didn't really happen. And so then I was like, why don't you take it back downstairs? And he's like huffing that thing around.
I'm surprised he
trying
did
to
it. I'm surprised he
hopefully-
was like, nope, I already moved it once.
right? That's
Well,
why we'll give me
to
his
be
job
fair-
application.
yeah, to be fair, he did say when he moved it into the bedroom, I am never moving this again. But
those things are
then
heavy.
what happens in a
Screen-
marriage,
screen break.
Yeah,
what
those
happens
things
in a marriage is you ask and beg enough
Oh,
times,
yeah.
right?
It's worth him doing it just to
And
shut
then
you up.
he's
Yep.
like, I can't, fine, I will move this thing.
I use that tactic too.
Exactly.
If I break it or not, I
Works
don't know if
really
it's
well.
gonna work when I get it there. But
he's
I
like,
don't know.
whatever, as long as you'll stop asking.
Oh my goodness.
Well, Ryan, this has been so fun. And I really hope everybody contacts you for their moves and all kinds of moving needs and staging and moves and all the things. What is the best way or ways to get in touch with you guys?
The best thing to do is just go on our website or leave a message on our voicemail. Our website's the smoothmovewi@gmail.com. The phone number is the 920-203-4645. You can text that number. You can send pictures to that number of what you want moved.
Okay.
We can send you a price real time. Again, we just want people to know that we'll give you a maximum price before we even get started, which
Sure.
I don't think any other place can do.
I like
It's
that.
always an estimate,
Right.
Or whatever.
So it's not going to end up higher.
Yeah, we don't want it to. We want to give you worst case scenario.
Sure.
Like I'd rather have it be cheaper than to sit and what I mean?
Absolutely.
But if you want to go shopping and add on more things, and I
Sure.
can take your wife shopping and get her new furniture too, we can
Right.
do that as well.
Perfect. I love it. I love it.
Sweet.
All right. So again, I'm sorry. It was a smooth move wi
At gmail.com.
at gmail.com. Perfect.
That'll be and then if there's anything else you need moving related, just reach
Yeah.
out. Don't hesitate to call us and just ask us.
Right.
'Cause 9 times out of 10, we're gonna do it.
And you guys are all over social media too, right?
All over. Yep. Facebook, Instagram. I'm pretty sure we got what is the Nextdoor app or whatever they got.
Yep. I finally just got on that recently too. I'm like, I should really get on that. Yeah. No, that's great.
Sweet.
That's awesome. All right. Well, everybody's going to reach out to you. I think after today, I mean, whoa.
Awesome. Thank you.
After
so much.
seeing all of our fans see
Yeah.
this, yeah, we always joke. We're like, "Mom's watching." All right, well, let's talk about a few weekend events, okay? So let's just get to it. And first, you have to hear this.
Let's see what's happening this weekend in the 920.
2-0.
That is awesome.
Tori is just a little celeb. Okay, get this. This weekend, a very Nina Christmas, Friday from 5 to 8. This will be super cute. It's downtown Nina. Nina's most magical night of the year, a very Nina Christmas presented by Community First Credit Union. It's December 6th with a new time from 5 to 8 p.m. We've extended the fun by adding an hour. Please note that the live mannequin windows will be from 6 to 8.
I do remember those.
All the other activities will be from 5 to 8 to give you extra time to say hi to Santa. So Santa's going to be there. See the real reindeers. Walk through an inflatable igloo to an ice sculpture garden. Watch the Santa Claus movie. All kinds of stuff. It says you'll feel like you're in a Hallmark movie.
Yeah,
I
that
love
sounds
that.
awesome.
I love that. So that's this Friday from 5 to 8, downtown Nina. Next, this one's going to be great too. Also Friday, 6 to 9. You might have to make some choices.
Yes.
Or go to one and then get to the other one. Winter Jubilee Light Show, 6 to 9, Friday, Titletown. Okay? Everybody knows where that is.
Yep, I've been there. I've been to that one.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's pretty sweet. Yeah.
The magic of the holiday season is on display during the Winter Jubilee Light Show. That's pretty cool. Enjoy a dazzling blend of holiday-themed lights, music, and special effects. The Winter Jubilee Light Show is projected onto Lambeau Field's west facade.
Yeah.
The best views are from Hy-Vee Plaza and Ridge Road, looking toward Lambeau Field, or lots 5 and 6 at Lambeau Field. Look at that. You heard it here first, folks.
Seriously.
Got the inside scoop. To enjoy the full experience, cool, from the comfort of your car, tune in to your radio at 87.9 FM.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Very,
it is
very
sweet.
awesome. That's really cool. Okay, I'm going to say one more, and then I'm going to give this to Fiona to finish it up, because this I love. I'm a big fan of these. True crime murder mystery dinner theater at Ziegler Winery. Friday, 6 to 9. There's just a lot of things happening on Friday night.
Everything's Friday.
It says, join us at the winery for a night of fun, laughter, suspense, and murder. I always love these.
Nothing says murder like
The
Christmas
whodunit.
like murder.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Just a little murder. You'll be tasked with helping our detectives interpret clues, interrogate suspects, and gather evidence, all while enjoying a delicious dinner. So you get dinner too. So the murder mystery dinner. It says audience members will assume an alias at the murder mystery dinner. Okay.
Sweet.
Everyone in the audience is a suspect, so prepare as our detectives guide everyone through a hilariously intense murder investigation. I just love those. I just think they're so fun. Each ticket comes with a 3-course meal in addition to dinner and entertainment. Audience members can add on $15 package at checkout to surprise someone in their party with a special interrogation during the show. Oh, I would definitely. I'm down for that. I am down for that. Our food for the evening is prepared by Annie's Fountain City Catering. Starter salad, fettuccine chicken Alfredo, vegetable blend, dinner rolls, apple cake with cream cheese frosting. Now I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, no kidding.
There's also gluten-free options. So that's this Friday, Ziegler Winery. I'm sure you can Google it if you want to do it, but it's W3953 Winnebago Heights Road in Malone. So it's out there a little bit, but hey, I think it'd be
that's
super
cool.
fun. Super
I've
fun.
never done one of those.
Yeah. So very, very, very cool. I've done one once. I did one at the Hearthstone, and it was really cool. Yeah, it was very
That
cool.
is cool. All right, so something else. This one's on Saturday.
Okay.
So this one, no
Ooh.
conflict,
Switching
which
it
is
up.
nice.
Yes.
It's a free community night with Skate with Santa at the Oshkosh YMCA at 3003 West 20th Ave. So free community night, ice skating with Santa. Bring the whole family and join us for a night of the holiday of the 20th Ave YMCA on December 7th. This special community night is free and open to the entire community. Grab ice skates and take a loop around the rink with Santa. The ice arena will be turned into a winter wonderland
Oh, boy.
filled with Christmas lights, photo props, and more. And the skate rental is also free. So if you
that's
don't have your own
nice.
skates,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, that's super fun.
Very fun.
They'll have activities like a bounce house, the skating, swimming, basketball, and more.
I'm
so
sorry,
you can do
swimming?
well, not swimming like in the swimming pool, not swimming on the ice
Right.
rink.
I was like, how is this going to
They're
work?
gonna melt the ice rink, and then
work? Okay, I
so
got
it looks
you.
like it sounds like it's more like the whole Y is kind of open.
Sure.
For community
Oh, that's
involvement,
cool.
which kind of sounds cool.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Very fun.
That is really, really cool.
Thank you, YMCA.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then there's also the EAA Christmas in the Air Saturday from
Ooh.
10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So
a
the
good one.
EAA Aviation Museum celebrate the holidays with EAA's annual Christmas in the Air, a free community and family event for all ages at the EAA Aviation Museum. Explore the museum and enjoy all the holiday decorations throughout the exhibit. Enjoy a wide variety of holiday activities. Write letters to Santa. Visit the sweet shop for cookies, cupcakes, and milk. Local dance, music, and choral performance groups around the museum. That's super fun. Amidst all the fun, do not miss the arrival of Santa Claus as he flies in by helicopter
That's cool.
at
Whoa.
noon.
I know.
Yeah, at noon to visit the
Santa's
children.
coming by
So
helicopter.
come to see the helicopter at noon and then go
That's
ice
cool.
skating with him at 5
I
right
love
afterwards.
that.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be fun.
That'll be really
Have your picture taken with Santa or take your own family photo in staged areas throughout the museum. Donations of unwrapped toys for Tots, which is really important, or non-perishable food goods for Father Carr's Place are greatly appreciated.
Oh,
So
I
that's
love
really
that.
huge. Donating,
Yes.
especially during this time of the year, is a really
Exactly.
huge thing. So you could, even if you can't go to the event, maybe you can drop off some stuff.
Sure.
From 10 to 3.
10 to 3 on
So,
Saturday at
10
EAA.
to 3 at EAA. So
Cool.
if you can't go ice skating and see Santa, just dropping off toys or unperishable items.
Right. I feel like watching Santa fly in on a helicopter would be so cool.
amazing.
How fun.
That's
Like,
yeah,
that would be
I
super
love
cool.
that.
As a kid,
I
I'd be
love
like,
that.
whoa.
Yeah, no
I
kidding.
know.
I'd be like, Santa stepped up his game.
Right?
this year.
Yeah, he's really.
Forget the
Yeah, see you
sleigh.
later, reindeer.
Exactly.
Oh,
Forget the sleigh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be a really great weekend.
Yeah.
Stay warm, everybody.
Yep, supposed to
Have
be like
fun
14
and
degrees
get out,
today.
enjoy the 920. And thank you again, Ryan,
Oh, thank you.
for being here.
Absolutely.
And
Pleasure.
we'll talk to everybody again next week.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To contact the Kelly Davies Homes team for all of your buying and selling needs, call 920-791-9047. Find us on Facebook at the Kelly Davies Homes team or go to kellydavieshomes.com.
Yes. Stop.
She nailed it.
Yay.